Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Decisions Lunch and Learn. I'm your host once again, Gregory Goldston. For those of you who were not here yesterday, we are starting a new EST stand-up time, not supplanting the old one, but adding to it. So on business days, we will be hosting another EST stand-up from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. This is so that if you guys have additional questions that couldn't have gotten answered in the first one because there were, too many people in that one, or perhaps you couldn't make the first one because of a meeting conflict or something, now you have an option to join the second one, and we will be hosting. It will be the same format, is what I'm trying to say. We'll have a trainer in there. Come in with your training questions. We'll be glad to answer them. Always want to promote DocBot. It's a very helpful tool that is pretty accurate as far as answering decisions questions is concerned. It allows for the use of, well, it's basically like a chat GPT type thing where you can ask your decisions questions. It can tell you how to build things, what particular functions do in the platform, and other features. So yeah, highly recommend checking that out. So we've got 4 attendees so far, and you guys may start putting your questions into the chat. Once you do that, I'll move over to my decision server, which I'm currently in the process of getting running. So apologies for the delay on that. But please start posting your questions, and hopefully we can have some going here. Oh, we got two. Okay, hold on. Um, Folder extension. All right, so let me read the first question, and yes, the chat is disabled. Sorry, answering issues. Yes, the chat is disabled. There is a Q&A feature that would allow you to type in your question there. Yeah, sorry. You put it in the Q&A, not into the chat. I misspoke there. My bad. And then if you can pardon me for just a moment, my decision server does not want to come up. So okay. All right. Pardon for just a moment. I am going to read the question aloud while I am trying to get this running. The first question that we have is, I have a folder extension data structure and a page for it. There is a component run current folder action as button, and there is no option to add CSS to it. Is it a bug? Ooh, interesting. Pardon me. Let me see if I can get into this. Just a moment. Okay, I think I might have it running now. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So let me move that over real quick. And here we go. All right. You should be able to talk now, Vitaly.
Hey,
Can you see my decision screen? Just confirming.
yep.
Cool, fantastic. All right, so folder extension data structure, and you have a page for it. There's a component, run current folder action as button. When you say component, are you talking about on the data structure itself or on the page?
On the page.
On the page. All right, so let's create a folder extension data structure real quick here. And I guess we should add it to add folder. There it is. Got it. I'll just call it VT extension. Okay, and then did you have a particular data type that this extension was for?
No, it doesn't matter. So on that CSS just for the action. So if you create one of these, then in configuration for this data structure, you create like an action, user action.
Okay, user action right here, and then the edit add.
No, no, no. After you create this one,
Oh,
there's
okay, got you. Right, because then you go under, whoops, wrong one, sorry, my bad. Configuration extension, and then you added a page.
uh, add user action and add a page.
Whoops. Hello?
Yeah, yeah,
Great, there we go, my bad. All right, so just run this and then add a page.
yep.
All right, cool, cool. Oh, let me create it. Okay, so,
Uh, search for folder action. Run current folder as a button. One of those.
yep, I'll drag a few across and we'll find out.
Yep, this is
There
the
we
one.
go, cool, first try.
Yeah,
All right.
for this one, you see how it doesn't have view section
Oh,
where
that
you
is
can,
interesting.
because if you drag over what it called folder data text block.
The folder data.
um, can you search for text block? It could be named differently. Can you search for data?
Yeah,
um, can you search for the text block?
sure, I'll try one word. Let's just try
uh,
text.
that's interesting because it's named differently in search. Can you go
Inter
for data section here? Oh no, just data drop down in
Oh, I
controls.
see. Yeah, select the
Current, I guess, or folder.
folder view.
No, no, no. Folder drop down. Expand
Gotcha.
that. Um,
I'm in version 9.3. Would that affect anything?
no,
All right.
it's an old component. It's just named differently. Uh, can you go to data or current?
Yeah, that's not it.
No, data controls. Uh, oh, either label or text box.
I'll drag a text box over here. But you should have
Yeah, yeah, that's it. So if you have some data, like for example, I don't know, folder name or folder ID, you can put it into data name
right.
and it will pull from that folder. But for this one, if you scroll down, you have view, I guess, no?
No, I don't see view on this.
Ah, can you drag label and see?
Yeah, absolutely. I could probably
From
search label, honestly.
data label, this one, data, no, not that one, first one.
David label. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
so you can pull it
There's
from your,
view and you pull the CSS class and add that.
mhm.
Yeah. Okay. But in this case for the text box, it's not letting us do that for some reason. Well, hold on. There it is now.
Yeah, but there is not for the button.
Oh boy. Yeah, it was having some issues. Hold on. Let's try restarting this thing. Oh, fun. It doesn't even recognize that decisions exist. Um, yeah, I might pass that mantle over. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to Rob real quick while Decisions decides what it wants to do on my end. Pardon me for a moment. No, my decision just shut down completely. Yeah. I can explain what we're doing. So, we are creating a folder extension data type under user defined, and then just call it whatever you want. Put whatever field you want in this, and then just save it. Doesn't matter how many there are.
Okay.
Yep. And then we'll go to the configuration folder that gets created for this one. I think it's just called configuration. Yeah. And then we are going to go to actions, add a user action. Yep. And then hit create. Drag it. Yeah, it doesn't matter what's in here. Just you can just drag it to the end step because we're going to create something after it. And then we're going to create a page in here. So create page dashboard. Yep. Now here's where we get to the meat of the problem. We are searching up a form page component called run current folder action as button. And then it's one of those three. One of them's a button. I think it was the first one. Yeah, just drag that over anywhere in the canvas. That's it. We are noticing that we cannot find any place like a view to add CSS to this form control. And the question is if that is a bug or if it's intentional. And uh, currently, I do not know.
Mm-mm. I would have them go through support just so they can talk with the devs or something like that. I mean, that's my opinion, but I'm also not a pro at this. This button, run current folder action as button, no CSS options. Yeah, you're right. Is it like that on 8 as well?
Um,
I've not used it on 8, so I don't know. I mean, definitely if I add some classes to like main CSS on the page, that will do it. But that way, my all buttons will be the same because they will generate ID on the runtime. So if I try to find all of these classes, they will be the same. So I cannot pick different class for different button.
Right. Yeah, like I said, this does not look correct. I mean, I mean, I'm gonna look at some internal stuff right now, but see if this comes up, but I do not believe run current folder action. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, we'll have to just reach back out to you probably. I think that's some of the things we'll have to just figure out because it's not something that's super obvious right now for me. Like I said, yeah, so Vitaly, I'll actually go and talk to the support folks. I might even submit a ticket on your behalf, but just you're right. It should show up as an option. I can't imagine a world in which it wouldn't. My only guess is that maybe it's a super old tool or a super old, um, part that CSS implementation wasn't there that yet, or it's changed over the years or something. But my guess is it's an oversight because if it's just a button, you should be able to perform that action with, or you should be able to at least perform CSS on it just like you do with every other button.
Okay.
Run current folder. Is this something that you could, I guess I see what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
can put CSS like on a high level CSS document.
Right, but then it applies to all of them.
Yeah, I can try to hard code and say if like internal text is execute action or whatever you name it, then apply different CSS.
Yeah, and I'm sure you know all of this, but current folder action. I mean, you could set up a flow to maybe perform something similar and just put CSS on the flow button, but I'm sure you know all that. Run. Do any of these have it? Is a question. Can I put CSS on any of these? No.
Run flow as a button. I guess you can. Maybe at least I used that in 8.
So this step, navigate to as a button. Yeah, they're all missing view.
Can you pick run flow as a button?
Yeah, I always do that.
Run flow. Yeah, so you can have CSS there.
Yeah, that was my like side thing. Whatever action you were trying to have it just pick a creative flow to perform something similar, but obviously that's probably not as ideal.
I can use run flow, but then I will have to fetch uh, that folder ID that's I'm creating an extension for. So I
True.
can do it. I can do it from query up top.
True, yeah.
Yeah, I can use that as a workaround.
All right. Well, like I said, I'll reach out. I'm gonna reach out to the support team and see if they know anything. And I'll send you an email here this afternoon. Um,
Okay, thanks.
yeah, no problem.
Try. Hey y'all, I've got my instance running up again, so I'm going to share my screen real quick. Once again, all right, y'all should be able to see it now. We're on page 1 here, and we're going to go back. The next question that we have from Grant, on a page, if you have a tab editor, can you make it where certain tabs have visibility to particular groups? Let's say I had tab A, B, and C. If I want to have tab A only visible to HR, how would you do that? Or is that even possible? All right, let me let you talk and we will discuss this. Okay, so we're looking for a tab container. You know what, let's do this on a normal page and not inside of this particular part here. Let's just make a new page here. And then let's bring out a tab container. I'm assuming this is the form control that you're referring to.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we have default tabs, and you want to be able to hide user visibility based upon the tab. So to my knowledge, I don't know how to do that specifically. I know that I can put visibility rules on the entities contained within the tabs so that some tabs cannot be viewed, and perhaps we could run a flow that updates it. So let me try this. We're going to do a run. Actually, it's a run flow part, not a run flow. My bad. I have a way that we might be able to do this. I've got two different ways that accomplish similar functionality for you, and we are going to go over both of them. So the first one I'm not certain about, but it is an exact answer to your ask. So show tab. I'm going to back out of this flow real quick. The idea here is that you can have tabs that are initialized, right? So if I go to behavior, or sorry, is visible is enabled, right? So I can set that. I'm not sure if I can set it per tab, but we will find out. Is enabled. It is not settable per tab. Interesting. Okay. So we might not be able to do it this way. Yeah, if we're not going to be able to set per tab, this is not the proper way to do this. So my initial thought is we would have a flow that would run in the background that would dynamically show or hide tabs and set the tabs to be hidden or displaying outside of that. But my next thought would be to not do it on a tab basis, but on a page basis. You can have multiple pages on the same folder that are navigated to. So let's rename this real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll call this one HR. I'm going to make a copy real quick and we'll call this IT. So if I were to go to public folders and create a folder here, I'll just call this main dashboard or grant dashboard. If I can spell that. Create that. And now I can add multiple pages here. Which, oh, that's because my flow is broken in these. But you can navigate to either one up in these actions up here. You can also set those same actions to be navigable within the page itself to bring you to one or the other. And you can just hide or show the pages based upon permissions that you set on each individual page for visibility. Vitali does have another thing that he wants to add here regarding this process, which you should be able to talk. So go right ahead.
Yeah, so with that flow run part, you can just create an empty form, and in that flow, you fetch your groups, and based on that, have like a small JavaScript that will disable or hide a tab if you want to do it that way. What I would do without JavaScript, I would create my own HTML menu that will generate links based on the permissions for each group.
Hmm.
That's another way. And
Okay.
just have it as a tile, and you can control that tile the way you want. Make it nice.
So you have an HTML display that would be configured.
Uh, just a simple tile.
Simple
And
tile and then a form.
for the simple tile, I would just create a flow that populates that tile with HTML and generate that HTML based on the groups for the initiating user.
Hmm. Okay. So what he's discussing is you have a simple tile here. You pick a simple tile that's going to display some information that generates an HTML output. And then that HTML output is going to determine what's going to be visible on the rest of the page based upon group user permissions.
Yeah, and based on that, you can generate links. Just like you, Gregory, mentioned, it will generate links to different pages based on the permissions.
Rather than the flow run part. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, with the flow run part, you can have like an empty form with the invisible JavaScript that will do it for you
Hmm.
if you want to go this route with the tabs. So you just find the tab, you just make it invisible.
Hmm. Is that making sense, Grant? So what he's saying is that for that second option, you have the ability to use JavaScript, and from the JavaScript, while decisions only lets you set initially visible behavior just by default with these buttons for the entire tab container, you can use separate JavaScript controls to determine which tabs are visible.
Yes, so that does make sense to me. I guess it's such a tiny little like feature that I'm building out that maybe like the page would be better for me that you're showing me because I can take it out of the tab. It was just I for some odd reason thought you could control the tabs a little easier
Mm.
than going through that whole process. But yeah, I'll look into doing the page visibility.
Another option that could be useful and easy, can you drag over folder tree? And
Yeah,
then,
absolutely.
and based on the folder tree, you can manage permissions, who is able to see which folder. So that could work for you as well.
Oh, okay, I see. That makes sense.
Hmm. So yeah, there's definitely quite a bit of customizability when it comes to this, and there is no one direct way. However, showing tab visibility per tab will require JavaScript. That is updating visibility rules. Okay. Um, I will move on to the next question then. Let's see. My question is there a way to add a spinning wheel or some sort of indicator on a form where I have a search box and it takes a few seconds to get back results after clicking the search button? The answer is absolutely yes. I can show you how to do that right now. And let me unmute you as well to make sure that you can talk. Where'd you go? Oh, did you leave? Well, sorry about that. Well, I can still show how that works. Let us create a flow. This will be called the loading flow. All right. I'm going to add a form. I'm going to create a new one because the other ones I'm using for testing purposes. So this will be the loading form. And then inside of here, we'll have that. And then we have a sort of search functionality. So I'm going to kind of create a pseudo one here just for our purposes because this is going to be a little bit quicker to initialize. I'll just call this the search box. And then what you're looking to do is under active form flows, we are going to set show loading indicator. As long as this active form flow is running, this loading indicator is going to appear on the screen. So I will call this main active form flow. Now there is a slight problem, right? Because technically active form flows cannot have delay steps. So we actually have to create a process that's just going to take a while here. So I am going to do the simple and easy task of grabbing every single header data component. And then as soon as I do that, I'm also going to do it again. Just so we can actually get a delay that we can see here in real time. And then we'll pass those results to the end. We're not going to specify any fetch criteria, and then that should just be running. And I want this to kick off anytime someone is doing something in this text box. Actually, let's just say stop typing value change. So let's see if this will run long enough to allow this to work. Don't need anything in it initially. And let's debug this. There's your loading indicator. You can specify the loading indicator as well, what is being used for this through either changing the theme editor in decisions or, of course, adding CSS for a custom loading indicator. Either option will work and really depends on preference. You get a little bit more flexibility with the CSS, but it does take a little bit more time to set up the CSS if you don't already have one for your company. So yeah, that is how you get a loading indicator on a form. All right. That's all the questions that we currently have set up. Does anyone have any additional questions they would like answered in this lunch and learn? If not, no worries. But I just want to make sure that we leave the floor open in case there's a follow-up, there's a thought that just popped into your head, anything else. We'll give it about one more minute or so. By the way, when I said alter the theme, I'll go to what that is right now. If you guys are typing any more questions, this will be enough time. So we go here, we go right click system and then go to theme. And then I go to theme editor. And this is what's going to allow us to alter how things look in decisions without CSS. So let's see here. I wonder if the loading indicator is under loading. Logo color and outline. Nope, that is not it.
Can you also check for that component for that button to run folder action if it's
Yeah,
here?
absolutely. I'll take a look. I'm not sure if it would be under here, but I will take a look. So let's see. Do we have anything for pages? We don't. Project mapping, loading, JSON form, designer, common dash structure form, rule report. No page. Really interesting.
Try searching for it.
Actually, I'm going to put dashboard. It looks like we have a lot of dashboard components. Maybe it's under that. Not seeing anything initially. Let's do folder, right? It was a folder button. I'm not seeing it yet. I don't think it'd be under designer folder. It's not a timeline. Not 100% sure where that's set. I think we will just reach out with the support ticket to see if we can find that there. Figure out if it should be allowing CSS or not. Feels like it should be, you know? All right. I am not seeing any more questions, so I'm going to close out this lunch and learn now. Appreciate y'all for attending and hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day.